The Prince of Wales is the first senior royal to visit Romania since the start of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and is also the royal who has come closest to the war zone since February. Charles visited a centre near Bucharest, which supports the rising number of refugees. Charles was welcomed by Romanian President Klaus Iohannis at the Cotroceni Palace. He then visited a refugee centre that provides fresh clothing, food, baby equipment and key essentials. As a result of Charles' visit, Radu Tudor, host of daily political show Punctual Turnaya and author, suggested the royal could become king in Romania. He said on Twitter, "Prince Charles is so often in Romania that I somehow feel he will be our king, too, when the time comes." Royal blogger Gertz Royals also noted that Charles met with Her Majesty Margherita, custodian of the Crown of Romania, and Prince Radu of Romania ahead of their visit to Romania's largest refugee centre, the Rome Expo Donation Centre. She said, "Charles and Margherita are distant cousins and good friends. Charles owns a house in Romania and make a private trip there each year." The prince was also taken to see dormitories that have been specially created to house more refugees as the war continues. During their visit, they were introduced to workers from the Red Cross and Salvation Army who have been working at the center throughout the crisis. Margherita, the eldest daughter of King Michael I and Queen Anne of Romania, assumed her father's duties upon his retirement in March 2016. The group spoke with Ukrainians who have fled the horrors of war, with more than 1,000 Ukrainians visit the center every day to receive food, supplies and access to social services and counsel during their stay in Romania. They also met with volunteers who are supporting the effort at the center. It comes as figures from the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, show 966,000 Ukrainians have entered Romania since the start of the war, with only Poland taking in more refugees. In the last week, a further 40,000 people are estimated to have crossed into Romania. Romania has given Ukrainian refugees free travel on its railways, with women and children the great majority of new arrivals. Mike Weigert, Global Rapid Response Director for World Vision, a charity supporting Ukrainian refugees in Romania, said, "I've not seen anything so big and so fast. By any measure it's a major movement of people." In March, Charles made a royal intervention into the Ukraine war and called Russia's attacks unconscionable. In Southend-on-Sea along with Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, the Prince of Wales spoke about Sir David Amess' murder. The royal said, "What we saw in the terrible tragedy in Southend was an attack on democracy, on an open society, on freedom itself. We are seeing those same values under attack today in Ukraine in the most unconscionable way. In the stand we take here, we are in solidarity with all those who are resisting brutal aggression." Meanwhile, the royal family are reportedly providing accommodation to Ukrainian families who have been forced to flee their homeland. Members of the royals have vowed to do their bit and are housing refugees, but the family has no wish for publicity, according to the Daily Express. Some 53,800 Ukrainian refugees have arrived in the UK under visa schemes, including the Homes for Ukraine program, which amounts to just over half the number of visas granted. A Buckingham Palace